Hi, I'm Amber, and I will be presenting my Thesis Studio 1 final project. My project is called Aleatory Technomantic Exploration. My proposal is a technomantic participatory artwork which combines digital and analog elements via aleatory processes. Aleatory art is art that is created with random choice involved. It can be during composition, production, or performance. So, an idea for my work is that there's some sort of interactive input which manipulates pre-made analog human art, which causes some kind of randomization or distorted output via destruction or random function, creating a human and digital art piece. My prototype utilizes the 1937 painting by Pablo Picasso, Guernica. I plan to do a painting that is black and white to replace this placeholder of the Picasso piece. Each letter in the word love is associated in my prototype with a different visual effect applied to the painting. So when you press the different keys for the letters L-O-V-E, 4 different visual effects distort the painting and give you a new output. Ideally, the effects would build on one another. So if you type love, you'll get one painting, but if you type another word, you'll get another result. Depending on what you type, you'll see a different unique painting as a result of the different visual effects. In my prototype, the letter L triggers a spotlight which can be moving around the painting. The letter O creates a negative. V wraps the painting into a vortex swirl. And E toggles on the effect of pointillism. Please enjoy this demo video of my prototype. Divination, seeking answers or deeper meaning, uses aleatory, unpredictable processes to create an anticipatory reveal of a surprise outcome based on the keystroke input. So my vision is a kind of infinity painting that responds to the keystroke interaction. Every combination of letters would create a discrete version of the artwork by layering the effects which are toggled on via every different alphabetical keystroke, via randomized digital distortion applied to an analog fine art piece. The typist's question results in a new version of the painting based on the input, and the answer that the user or the audience is seeking appears in the form of an altered painting. I want to create a digital divination tool which serves as a multimodal, interactive, artistic experience. Collaboration between human creativity and that unpredictable, surprising outcome of the machine, using somewhat controlled, random, and destructive processes. This is a black and white work by painter Carla Accardi, which I find inspiring. I plan to work in black and white as a metaphor for destruction and creation, light and dark, and these polar opposites and the tension between them that I have been interested in this semester. My original question, how can I create a meaningful, multimodal, audiovisual, artistic experience to accompany the music listening experience, came about because of my previous work in visual music, and as a musician, I'm interested in creative ways of reaching music audiences. My first prototype was using Max MSP, which I worked in last semester, and I envisioned creating a kind of randomized jukebox with different visuals that could be triggered. I started out with a mind map of all of these different topics relating to visual music, how audiences can interact with musicians, and different ways of combining analog and digital art forms. I was very interested in how music makers can communicate with their audience. My first pivot came when I decided to just play and do some digital sketching. I had just been through a breakup, and I felt that there was something engaging and compelling about the idea of heartbreak and how it inspires artists to be more creative than ever at times. Despite going through hardship, it can be a great impetus for creativity. Faced with loss, heartbreak, or sadness, there is an opportunity for artists to transmute pain into creation. I'm interested in how emotion drives artistic creation. This idea of turning pain or a loss into art led me to this concept of how can destruction inspire or be a form of creation? A precedent that inspired me is Sophie Calais. She used a breakup letter from a relationship to create a piece of art which, in the end, she said replaced her ex. Destruction is creation, the end is the beginning, and the concept of impermanence. Catharsis is a process of releasing and providing relief from emotion. So this idea of emotional transmutation, alchemy, sublimation, and destruction as a vehicle for the creative process was really compelling to me. In my research, Gustav Metzger, who founded the auto-destructive art movement, became an inspiration. Destroy and you create. Yoko Ono has also been an inspiration to me and the Fluxus movement. She worked with controlled destruction, and I really loved this exploration of a more philosophical idea that the nature of the universe is one of change and impermanence. So destruction and creation are a universal truth. Painting is timeless and an atemporal existence. So in that space, I want to explore the liminality between creation and destruction. Michael Freud used a term for the atemporal quality of a painting, presentness. Destruction as creation led me on a path of experimentation, which was really exciting and fun. I experimented with collaging and the cut-up method. Here I played with a poem and set some of the words on fire and then remixed them to create a new poem. Through this experimentation, it made me think of scrying or divination, finding some other kind of deeper meaning in something by looking into it for guidance. I did some other experiments with ceromancy, pouring wax into water, scraping paintings. This is a painting that used a lot of destructive technique, and Rorschach-inspired paints, ink blots. Through this experimentation, I discovered my interest in that moment of reveal, like in a dark room when you are developing your photos in the developer chemicals. This moment of waiting for the image to appear, and the surprise, the element of discovery, which occurs after relinquishing some kind of creative control over the process to an unpredictable creative output. The idea of controlled destruction led me to this interest in letting go of creative control and getting a bit of a surprise from the randomization of a process. Digitally, I explored some glitch art, and again, I found this surprise element very exciting. In code, using the random function can also result in beautiful and complex patterns. My next steps are to further experiment with destruction and randomization as creative processes where I let go of control and am surprised by the result. Co-creating with the machine and combining analog art with digital processes, and relinquishing creative control to collaborate with the machine. I want to research generative art, creative coding, random function, procedural generation, emergent art, and incorporate other mediums like music and audio, the written word. I right now have the ideas to use the forms of either a screen-based digital interaction or some kind of projected installation. Here is my timeline looking forward. What have you taken away from this presentation? Are the ideas clear to you? What do you suggest? Thank you.